Today, we're talking about the rise of the middle class.
You know, when you think about history, you probably picture kings, queens, maybe some famous generals. But what if I told you that the world we live in, with its giant cities, its global businesses, all of our modern ideas, was actually built by a totally different group of people? Yeah, let's get into it. All right, so to get this, we gotta go way back. Picture the Middle Ages. Back then, society was pretty simple, really. You had the nobles at the top, born into power, and then you had the peasants who worked the land. That was pretty much it. But then, something new started to happen. A new kind of person started showing up, someone who didn't fit into either of those boxes.
This new group got a name, the bourgeoisie. It's a French word, and it basically comes from the word bourg, which just meant a fortified town. See, these were the town dwellers. They weren't lords, and they weren't peasants working in the fields. Nope, these were your merchants, your expert craftsmen, your bankers. A whole new class, literally stuck right there in the middle.
And as you can probably guess, this created a huge clash. Think about it. For the nobility, everything, and I mean everything, was about who your parents were and how much land you inherited. But for this new middle class, the game was totally different. Their power came from what they did, from the money they made, from their skills and their hard work. Your status wasn't just handed to you at birth. For the first time, it was something you could actually earn.
Okay, so this new class is all about earning their way up the ladder. But how? Where did they get the money to even start? Well, the answer completely changed the world. Global trade.
I mean, just try to imagine it. You're a merchant, and you're the first person to bring back incredible things like spices from Asia or fine silk from the East. Stuff people in your town had only heard about in stories. These merchants were sailing across the world, trading for all these exotic goods. It was a huge risk for sure, but the reward, it can make you ridiculously rich.
And they were super smart about how they did it, too. They didn't just sail off on their own. No, they formed companies, pooling their money together to share the massive costs and the risks. They even came up with early versions of credit and insurance to help fund these super dangerous voyages. It was this kind of business thinking that let them turn those profits into actual power and influence.
So if global trade was the spark that got the middle class started, the Industrial Revolution was like pouring gasoline on the fire. This is when their rise to power just went into complete overdrive.
You see, brand new inventions like the steam engine just changed everything. All of a sudden, you didn't need to make things by hand in some little workshop anymore. Now, it was the middle class, the inventors, the engineers, the new factory owners who could churn out goods on a massive scale, a scale that nobody had ever even imagined before.
And this started a massive chain reaction. The steam engine makes factories possible. The factories get built in cities, and those factories pull in millions of people from the countryside, all looking for work. You fast forward to the end of the 19th century, and boom, the middle-class entrepreneurs who owned and ran this whole new industrial world, they were the biggest economic power around, period.
But here's the thing. It wasn't just about money. The middle class didn't just get rich and stop there. No, they completely reshaped society itself. They came up with new rules, new values. They basically drew the blueprint for the modern world we live in now.
Seriously, they had a hand in everything. They pushed for huge changes in politics. They were big supporters of public education and new science. They're the ones who designed what our modern cities look like. They even changed how people thought about family.
What they really did was promote a whole new set of values. It wasn't about the fancy, inherited luxury of the old nobles. It was about things like hard work and personal responsibility. They believed that getting an education wasn't just for the rich kids. It was a crucial tool you needed to run a business or come up with the next big invention. These became the new rules for what it meant to live a good, successful life.
And as the middle class basically became the economic engine of the country, they were paying most of the taxes, they started asking a pretty simple question. Hey, if we're the ones funding this whole government, shouldn't we have a say in how it's run? And that one simple demand, well, it would go on to spark revolutions all over the world.
You can really see their growing power just by looking at the cities. Cities were their turf. These were the bustling centers of business, banking, and new ideas, all the things that gave them their power. So, it's simple. As the cities got bigger, so did the influence of the people running the show inside them. But maybe the most revolutionary idea they brought to the table was something called social mobility. It's this belief that where you end up in life isn't decided the moment you're born. The middle class was living proof of this. They showed everyone that with talent, with an education, and with a lot of hard work, you could actually climb the social ladder and build a better life for yourself.
Okay, so why should you care about this story from hundreds of years ago? Well, because in so many ways, the world they built is the world we're living in right now. Think about it. Our modern banking system, it was set up to fund their big projects. The laws we have that protect private property and businesses, they wrote that playbook. The whole idea that going to college is your ticket to a good career, that is a classic middle-class value. Our big cities, and even that fundamental belief that you can earn your own success, that's all part of the world they left for us.
This really sums it all up, doesn't it? The story of the middle class is really about how new ideas, new ways of doing business, can literally change the course of human history.
They were the ultimate disruptors of their time, right? They challenged the old way of doing things and created something totally new. And it really makes you think, who's doing that today? Who are the disruptors of our time? Is it the tech founders building new digital realities? Is it the social movements pushing for big changes? Or maybe it's a new group we haven't even identified yet. Who do you think is rewriting the rules of our world?